Hello, everyone. Blessed afternoon. So, welcome to Brewing Live All New Season, episode 137 for mental preparedness in the new landscape of living amidst challenges of our present time. So, Brewing Live is a community service of Decaf Coffee Republic, our coaching hub and home of certified life coaches here in the Philippines. In partnership with Life Coach Philippines, our heart here as game changers is to brew mental fitness in your space and help nurture holistic mental health for you and the people that matters to you. So shout out to all my fellow kindred coaches serving in this corner of the digital space and advancing life coaching ethically and authentically. So giving is a lifestyle that never goes out of style. So I encourage you all of you to expand your heart today by supporting the works that we do by blessing the Cup Coffee Republic with your food and beverage order. So we have delicious vegan meals made out of whole wheat. So it is full of fiber and it allows you to feel full longer, of course. And we have fresh guayabano juice and mango juice. So this is no calorie. This is actually no additives and no, it has no preservative. So this is again freshly squeezed. And of course, we have the no calorie sugar replacement syrup, which is the Citadel Slim Syrup. So it is plant-based sugar replacement made out of erythritol, and it is good for your sugar levels because it doesn't affect your glucose levels. And we also have pita chips and mushroom chicharron. We have a baked mushroom chicharron that has I think 8 different flavors for easy switch to healthy eating. And of course, we invite you also to join us on our hashtag Save One campaign against diabetes. So check out our organic insulin wine and tea and know more about sugar regulator products to help fight the debilitating symptoms of diabetes. For your favorite and classic comfort food, of course, we offer sausage platters. This is the very classic one, no? We also have waffles, pies, the croissant pies. It's really good. I love it. And of course, cakes, fraps, and milkshakes. So please check out our FB page for the menu of sumptuous meal and refreshing drinks or connect with Coach Rezzhel to 0917-586-1661 to bring the Decaf Coffee Republic experience in your space through order, pickup, and delivery. Also, we are open from 12 noon to 12 midnight for your dine-in experience, especially after work. If you want to unwind, if you want to distress, ayan, then feel free to visit us at Decaf Coffee Republic. Now, for other ways to support our community works, you may now give us some stars. Give us some stars. Ayan. Or love gift through fund transfer. Just check the caption of this video for bank info and or GCash account. So just in case you just joined in, welcome and thank you for being here. And of course, you may circulate the link of this video to invite your friends to watch with you. And you may also tag them in the comment below and give them some shout out, encouragement, motivation, and of course, just best of all, you can just acknowledge them and express your gratitude. So as for me, let me give my shout out to fellow mental model collectors inside B Learning Society by Master Coach A. So a special mention to my partner, Coach Trisha Carino, our community lead inside B Learning Society. So if you are not yet a smart holder of B Learning e-card, then you are still missing all the perks that we are enjoying. And of course, today is the best time for you to take action. So just connect with Coach Rezzhel to 0917-586-1661 to join the Be Learning Society, which is the 10th maker of Be Learning Homes for mental fitness, where you get to enjoy a 5% food and beverage discount from Decaf Coffee Republic, and you get a full access to Mental Model Masterclass by Master Coach A, which happens every fourth Saturday of the month. Plus, you get to benefit from a 90-minute free coaching session from senior coaches from Life Coach Philippines. And for this month's Mental Model Masterclass is scheduled on November 27 at 7 p.m. So Master Coach A will teach on Jeff Bezos' mental models. So just in case you do not know who Jeff Bezos is, he is the creator, the founder, and the executive chairman of Amazon. So, are you ready to level up as an entrepreneur? Then register now and get ready to thrive and experience financial breakthrough even during this time of pandemic. So for more information and registration assistance, connect with Coach Rezzhel through 0917-586-1661. So moving on, for today's episode, I will be sharing the role of hypothalamic-pituitary-adrenal or HPA axis. Nosebleed, okay. So please do tag your friends, forward this video link, and invite others to join our conversation on mental preparedness. So animals actually and people respond to stress by activating a wide array of behavioral and physiological responses that are collectively referred to as the stress response. So the question is, what is the role of hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis or the HPA axis? So if you have any idea, feel free to share it and type it in the comment box below. Kung wala naman pong idea and first time nyo narinig tong kakaibang term na to, no? Kakaibang word na ito, which is the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal or HPA axis, then you can just feel free to type in first time, okay? First time. So ako po first time, but since I research on it, malamang no, medyo hindi na. So before I proceed, of course, I would like to greet our fellow learners for this afternoon. So we have Coach Sean, we have Coach Tin, so it's the couple coach. We have as well Lizzie, ayan, si Lizzie and si Brother Victor Kunanan. Hello, great afternoon. So in case you are meeting me for the first time, my name is Life Coach Candee Teng. I'm a professional certified CACC life coach and a certified mental health coach from Life Coach Philippines. I am a proud scholar of Master Coach A's Tribe Speak, a six-step to six-figure speaking career training program. I am a Master Builder Apprentice of Master Coach A, and as a Master Builder Apprentice, we help you build tribe as we help your unstoppable dream to come true. And with that, I am the creator and founder of When Comfort is Not Too Comfortable Coaching Community. And I help individuals to become mentally fit to heal and recover from their broken identity, broken name, and broken dreams so that they can courageously journey outside of their comfortable lifestyle to live a life of stewardship or a life of responsibility. So if you are watching this on a replay, comment hashtag replay and do send us a message if you wish to connect with any points that resonates with you. And you may find the YouTube link where you can watch the replay of all the episodes of Brewing Live in the caption of this video. So please do follow and subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified when new learning video becomes available. So, what is the role of the HPA axis? Ayan. So, hypothalamus. So, si hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, or again, we just call it HPA axis. Okay. So, the role of HPA axis in the integration of adaptive responses to stress. Hello, Coach Glacy. Ayan na. This is a very, very interesting topic, no? So you get to understand actually the brain. So this is part of the brain. And we all love the brain. Okay. So again, the role of the HPA axis is in the integration of adaptive responses to stress. Ayan, sabi ni Coach Gracie, may bago si hypothalamus. Hindi Coach Gracie, madami to. Si hypothalamus, si pituitary, and si adrenal glands. Okay. Kaya siya HPA. Okay. So, we also identify and briefly describe the major neuronal and endocrine system that contributes to the regulation of the HPA axis and the maintenance of homeostasis in the face of aversive stimuli. Okay, so ano ba yung homeostasis? Just in case you don't know what this is, no, since this is a scientific term, no. So it comes from the Greek word same and steady. So it refers to any process that living things use to actively maintain fairly stable conditions necessary for survival. So these are again stable conditions that is necessary for your survival. So the regulation of the HPA axis in the maintenance of homeostasis is very important even in the face of aversive stimuli. So, ibig sabihin na aversive are any unpleasant stimuli that induce no changes in behavior via negative reinforcement or positive punishment. Okay? So, technically, medyo negative shock. Okay. So, sabi, ang dami, kaya ko to, sabi ni Coach Liz. Yes, kaya natin to. Okay. This is actually very scientific, but I will do my best to simplify it na talagang maaabot natin in its simplest sense, no? But of course, bear with me. But this is a very interesting topic, okay? So stress is commonly defined as a state of either real or perceived threat to that homeostasis, to the balance, to the to the ano, to the steady or the stable conditions that we have, okay? And the maintenance of homeostasis in the presence of adverse stimuli, which is often know what we call stressors, requires activation of a complex range of responses, which involves the endocrine, nervous, and immune system, which is collectively known as the stress response. Ayan. So just in case you don't know kung ano talaga yung nagko-constitute ng stress response natin no, within our body, within our brain, then it's actually the endocrine, the nervous system, and the immune system. So the activation of the stress response, of course, no, initiates a number of behavioral and physiological changes that improve no an individual's chance of survival when faced with homeostatic challenges. Ibig sabihin, nacha-challenge yung balance mo, nacha-challenge yung steadiness mo, nacha-challenge yung, nacha-challenge yung kung alam mong comfort mo or the normal that you know, yun siya. Okay? So, when that happens, no, behavioral effects of the stress response include 'di ba, 'pag nai-stress ka tapos, normally you can see this in the survival mode 'no, 'pag may bear kang kaharap malamang 'di ba, nag-i-increase yung awareness mo bilang zoom, nag-i-increase yung focus mo and everything. Then you have improved cognition, euphoria, ibig sabihin yung state mo talagang high na high ka 'di ba, and enhanced analgesia. Okay? So physiological adaptations initiate by the activation of this system, which is the stress response system, also include increased cardiovascular tone, respiratory rate, and intermediate metabolism, along with inhibition of general vegetative functions such as feeding, digestion, growth, reproduction, and immunity. So, nawawala yun. Tapos, lumalabas yung survival instinct natin when we are faced with stress, especially if it is really imminent danger. So, I am explaining this, no, based on that perspective para alam niyo yung nangyayari. Kasi, di ba, when we are faced with stressful situations, survival situations, hindi mo maintindihan, bigla, di ba, ang bilis mo mag-isip. May automatic response ka. And of course, you can see my cat here. Okay. And then, of course, no, yung pump mo, yung heart rate mo, nagpa-pump siya ng so much blood, no? Kailangan mabilis yung heart rate for you to be able to run. For you to be able to run. So, technically, yun siya, okay? So, the anatomical structures that mediate the stress response are actually found in both the central nervous system and the peripheral tissues. So the principal effectors of the stress response are localized in the paraventricular nucleus or PVN of the hypothalamus. So isipin mo na lang hypothalamus, okay? And the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland and the adrenal gland. Kaya siya HPA, okay? Hypothalamus, pituitary gland, and adrenal gland. And this collection of structure is commonly referred to as the hypothalamic-pituitary-adrenal axis. Okay. So, pag stressful conditions, yun yung tatlong glands na nag-a-activate sa brain natin. That's why it's called HPA axis. So hindi mo siya pwedeng i-separate from one another because they function, magkakakabit sila. They are interconnected. Okay. So the HPA axis is very actually intricate, yet it is robust. No, neuroendocrine mechanisms that mediate the effects of stressors by regulating numerous physiological processes such as metabolism, immune responses, and autonomic nervous system. So the HPA axis consists of a cascade of endocrine pathways that respond to specific negative feedback loops involving the hypothalamus, the anterior again, pituitary gland, and the adrenal gland. So HPA axis technically is the central regulator of various physiological responses to stressors. Okay, kaya pa to. In short, siya po yung nagre-regulate ng responses natin to stress. Okay. So again, HPA axis is the main physiological system that mediates the body's stress response. So pag stress ka, isipin mo HPA axis. Okay. So it plays a pivotal role in regulating the synthesis and releases of endocrine hormones associated with your central nervous system, which include, tadang, guess what? 'Di ba? Cortisol. Ayan, which we all know as the major stress hormone. So cortisol has a widespread effect no throughout the body, and it passes through BBB, which is the blood-brain barrier. So just in case you don't know what the blood-brain barrier and ano yung relation pa na stress, you want to know more about this, then you can catch the replay of my video on how to manage stress. So I explained the science behind stress. No, nandun siya under Coaching for Mental Fitness. You can also find it on Coach A I-Connect YouTube channel. So, ayan, si blood-brain barrier, and then it down-regulates HPA axis activity by triggering negative feedback mechanisms, thereby inhibiting its own production. So, again, we all know what cortisol is. Again, cortisol is a major stress hormone. And cortisol has a number of effects on our body, hello, Coach Nords, that are thought to be carried out in order to help the body deal with a stressor that lasts longer than a few minutes. For an example of this, it increases blood pressure no and cardiac output, ibig sabihin yung sa heart rate mo, no, and it provides more blood to your skeletal muscles in case the stressors you're dealing with involves some sort of physical exertion, like running for your life. Ayan. So yun po, si cortisol po. So if you really look at it, no, si cortisol, it's not really a bad guy, okay? But due to our limited awareness, okay, of the science really no behind stress and everything, oftentimes we really see cortisol as the bad guy. But if you really look at it in this perspective, no, hello, Coach Lean, cortisol is not that much bad, especially no pag nasa life and death situation ka, because it acts no to increase circulating levels of glucose in your blood as well. So, and you know that as glucose is crucial energy source of your cells, this also provides your body with extra energy to deal with the stressor. So, again, pag life and death situation, yan na si cortisol. Okay, it is very helpful in life and death situations. Okay. So additionally, cortisol acts during the experience of a serious stressor to inhibit the processes that are deemed to be of lesser importance of that time. So nangyayari sa brain natin, if you are exposed to stress, no, nag-override si cortisol hormone. So doon na pupunta yung function ng brain natin, and then eventually no na-override niya yung ibang processes ng brain natin. Kaya medyo, 'di ba? Minsan, hindi ko naman sinasabi open, no, when we are faced with stressful situation, we have that automatic responses na hindi natin naiisip. No, we are not able to really make logical decisions in that situation. Okay. Ayan, okay, bumalik na ako. Okay. So, Chronic stress actually leads to reduced sensitivity of the negative feedback system that governs the HPA axis. So technically, pag nag-activate si HPA axis, di ba, yun nga yung nagagawa niya, na-increase niya, nagpo-produce siya ng more, okay? More for our body to respond to the stimuli, okay? So kailangan niya ng negative feedback in order to calm it down in its sense, no? I'm trying my best to simplify it. Hello, Coach Rezzhel. Sabi ni Coach Lynn, ayoko dati kay cortisol. Stress kasi. Ayan, si Coach Lynn. Ayan, di ba, hashtag guilty. Ako din naman, Coach Lynn. But this is the beauty of being educated, no? And knowing more really how the brain works kasi it allows you to appreciate, okay, and have a different way of thinking and seeing things. Okay, so again, the loss of this negative feedback system is due to an increased level of circulating GCs or glucocorticoids. Okay, so glucocorticoids are powerful medicines that fight inflammation and work with your immune system to actually treat a wide range of health problems. So your body actually makes its own glucocorticoids, and these hormones have many jobs, such as controlling how your cells use sugar and fat and curbing inflammation. Okay, so pag ano yan, it's a wild whole system, but I won't really focus into glucocorticoids. So I'm just giving you an overview. So kaya pa natin to, okay? So technically, chronic stress shrinks your brain. So the prefrontal cortex, yung nandito sa harap sa prefrontal lobe, no, which controls decision making, working memory, and control of impulsive behavior, shrinks with long-term stress. Kaya po, hindi po healthy ang ano, you continue to expose yourself to stressors, okay? Because it actually shrinks your prefrontal cortex. And of course, the hippocampus part of your brain also shrinks with chronic stress, and the hippocampus is what is responsible for learning, memory, and emotional regulation. And the hippocampus, of course, plays an important role in terminating HPA axis responses to stress. So, pag nagre-response sa stress, si HPA axis, di ba, nag-overwork siya, especially if it's chronic, palagi siya nag-overwork. And si hippocampus eventually gets affected by the chronic stress, no? Hindi niya na nato-terminate yung axis response ni HPA sa stress. So, imbes na regular functioning si HPA, na kaya niya mag-handle ng stress, no? In a very positive way, allows you to have a positive behavior to stress, no? Nag-overwork si HPA axis. And the prefrontal cortex actually also regulates your HPA responses to stress. So just imagine if you continuously expose yourself to chronic stress and pinaliliit niya si prefrontal cortex and si hippocampus, na they are the ones that actually help terminates the HPA axis response and also regulate HPA response to stress, di ba? So paano na? Kaya isa tayong malaking stress. Okay, that's why we are unable actually to as well manage stress. So this is on a scientific level, no? So in contrast to the hippocampus and the prefrontal cortex, ito na, favorite ni Coach Lynn, the amygdala is thought to activate the HPA axis. Ayan. Yan talaga si amygdala. So amygdala is the one that is responsible really for, sabi ni Coach, isang malaking stress, yes. The amygdala is the one that is responsible really for the survival instinct. So it gives way to the fight, flight, and freeze response. So palaging nag-a-activate si amygdala. And if you came from the trauma masterclass of Master Coach A, the amygdala hijack, no. Usually when the amygdala is really activated, no, naha-hijack, ibig sabihin hindi nakaka-function masyado si prefrontal cortex at si limbic brain and si neocortex or the part ng prefrontal cortex mo, hindi siya nakaka-function. Okay? Dahil nga siya na-overrule ni amygdala. So in this case, if you continuously um subject yourself to chronic stress, lumiliit na si prefrontal cortex mo. Hippocampus is actually located in your limbic system, no? So, nasa midbrain siya. Lumiliit silang dalawa. Tapos si amygdala, di ba, syempre, dahil lumiliit siya, si amygdala becomes the authority. Nagme-mayor siya. Nag-oversee siya ng response. Whereas the normal function of the brain, si amygdala dapat, siya yung huli na nagpa-function, and it only activates actually in really no real life situation, real danger, no, dangerous life situation. So the stimulation of the amygdala neurons promote glucocorticoid synthesis and release into systemic circulation, and the amygdala actually plays a key role in HPA axis activity and contribute the majority of afferent projections from the amygdala to cortical, midbrain, and brainstem regions that regulate your adaptive response to stress. So, pag nag-overrule na si amygdala, si HPA axis, nag-overdrive na rin siya. That's why when you are into stressful situations, especially chronic ones, di ba, marami tayong actions na ginagawa na hindi mo naisip kung bakit mo ginagawa. We are able to speak words, no, statements that actually hurt other people, na if you know you are calm, no, hindi mo siya sasabihin. So, may science po siya behind that. So, technically, HPA axis dysregulation results in downstream physiological consequences. It increases risk for immune system dysfunction since 'di ba hindi naman talaga dapat nag-overdrive si HPA axis because again kasama niyan si endocrine, si immune system, and si nervous system. Okay? So if it is always activated, eventually no na-overwork siya, nagkakaroon ng dysregulation. Kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng physiological consequences, nagkakaroon tayo ng risks no for immune system dysfunction as well. We have a risk for mood disorder because it involves the nervous system. We have metabolic disease, and we can develop actually cardiovascular disease. Kaya, di ba sabi nila, stress is bad for your heart. Yan, di ba? Ang saya-saya. Natututo talaga tayo. Okay. So, while proper functioning of the HPA axis is essential for dealing with stress, when your HPA axis is stimulated too much, no? An example of this, when someone who faces extreme stress on a daily basis, kaya siya chronic stress, no? It can lead to physical and psychiatric problems. So individuals with elevated cortisol levels may experience a suppressed immune system response, making them more susceptible to infection. Kaya sinasabi, I remember this in the mental preparedness class, no? There is a vicious cycle of stress and immune system that when you are subjected to stress, yung immune system mo bumababa. So this is actually the science behind this, okay? So the repeated HPA axis activation has also been linked to Type 2 diabetes. So, ayan na, maglabas na po tayo ng insulin wine and insulin tea. Ayan, again, repeated HPA axis activation has been linked to type 2 diabetes, obesity, and again, cardiovascular disease because cortisol has also been demonstrated to have detrimental effects again on memory and cognition kasi nga it shrinks your prefrontal brain, your neocortex, and your limbic brain. Okay? And high cortisol levels are implicated in mood disorders like depression. Ayan, sakto. World Diabetes Day pa naman today. O, di ba? Saktong-sakto, di ba? Okay. So, additionally, the baseline activity of the HPA axis can be affected as well, no, by early life experiences as as early as when you are in the womb. Okay? So this is really science, no, na as early as early as you are in the womb na activate na yung HPA axis pag stressed si mommy. Kasi 'di ba 'pag stress si mommy, nasa loob si baby, and of course nandoon lahat ng hormonal disruptions, and knowing this 'di ba may HPA axis din si mommy, and nasa loob si baby. So naaapektuhan si baby. Ayan siya, and of course some naman experience this in early life trauma. Okay, early life trauma that may lead to an overactive HPA axis later in life. So kasama HPA axis develops really and affects so much no during puberty. So example of this, if during puberty no you experience bullying, ayan, so nagiging overactive si HPA axis. So eventually yun siya, nakaka-effect talaga siya ng ating um, um, responses, no, the HPA, ayan, the HPA actually, again, tatlo po siya, no, hypothalamic, the pituitary, and the adrenal gland. So, na-affect niya yan. That's why may science po talaga si trauma. So, this may actually contribute to increased anxiety and potential metabolic effects, including excess fat deposition and insulin resistance. So when you talk about type 2 diabetes, it is not only limited no to the food that you eat, but it is actually very much internal. So pwede din siya as an um effect of stress. Okay, effect of stress, because if you can see no, hindi naman lahat ng ng tao who has type 2 diabetes are like obese, no. There are really thin ones, pero hindi mo maisip kung paano sila nagkaka-type 2 diabetes kahit na malinis yung lifestyle nila, malinis yung kain nila, no. But because of this knowing about this HPA axis, no, and how the brain works, how the immune system works, how the central nervous system work, how the endocrine system works, and the HPA axis, no, that affects them, and the cortisol, no, hormone that affects them. You can see now how kahit, no, pa-healthy-healthy yung tao, they can develop insulin resistance because it is not only limited to your eating lifestyle, but to your general and holistic lifestyle of how you actually carry and handle stress, which is all part again of mental health as well. Okay. So the maintenance of homeostasis of again stability or balance in the presence of real or perceived challenges, of course, requires activation of a complex range of responses. Again, that includes the endocrine, nervous, and immune system, collectively known as stress response. So inappropriate regulation of this stress response, especially if it is exposed to chronic stress, has been linked to a wide array of pathologies, including autoimmune disease. That's why if you are really stressed, no, lumalabas, like in my case, lumalabas yung pityriasis ko when I was subjected into a very traumatic experience. Doon siya lumabas, pero dati I didn't have that, no. So again, autoimmune disease, hypertension, affective disorders, and major depression. Ayan. So sabi ni Coach Jean, favorite ko rin itong homeostasis. Ayan. So clearly, by knowing this, understanding this, and educating ourselves, no, about HPA axis and its role, and the role, no, kasi since tatlong glands siya, no, the role of each of this system and their regulatory mechanisms actually provides new ways of actually treating any stress-related disorders, including anxiety, feeding or eating, addiction, and energy metabolism. So this is actually the importance of knowing the role of HPA axis on a very scientific level. So you get to become educated para alam mo ngayon, no, may explanation siya on a scientific level. That's why you cannot expose yourself to chronic stress, okay? So thus the proper functioning of HPA axis is very crucial in helping us to deal with stressors. Dito mo din makikita na hindi mo masyado dapat ina-activate si amygdala. Okay. But then again, repeated stress has the potential to disrupt the beneficial physiological role of the HPA axis, because again, the HPA axis is to allow you to regulate stress, allow you to have a positive behavior to stress. So it controls the stress response, and it controls the stress Nawala ang aking video. Ayan, I'm back. Okay. Okay. So repeated stress has the potential to disrupt again the beneficial physiological role of the HPA axis. Okay. Again, HPA axis is designed to allow us or to help us respond positively to stress. But if na-overactivate siya, yung opposite niya yung nangyayari, no? We cause so much we cause so much damage not only to our physical health but to our mental health as well. So because of this integral role, no, in a healthy response to stress and the disease that can result when that response again is disrupted. So the HPA axis is an important area to understand and represent, no, a potential target for therapy for healing. Ayan. So that is actually the role of HPA axis in our system, in our body. And by doing this, and I hope, of course, you get to understand and you get to educate yourself. You can see that actually by understanding this, you can actually create ways of protecting yourself from stress, protecting yourself from other kinds of diseases that can develop. And if you are already into experiencing like mood disorders, mental illness, like type 2 diabetes, then you know that there is that healing is actually possible for you. So that is all for our episode for this Brewing Live, where we discuss the role of HPA axis or the pituitary Pituit pituitary hypothalamic-pituitary-adrenal axis. Okay. So, nagja-jumble na ulit yung dila ko. Okay. So, thank you for joining me today and supporting the advancement of mental fitness. So, Mental Preparedness Talk at Decaf Coffee Republic every Saturday at 4 p.m. is back. And we started yesterday, November 13. So, if you are interested as well, no, about trauma and the ways to heal, like in this case, no, yung HPA axis, like I said, can be damaged or become dysfunctional, no, the development of the HPA because of traumatic experiences that we have from the womb until now, kung ilang age ka na, no. So it is very apt and I, of course, I invite you to join the trauma masterclass series of Master Coach A. And of course, her next class is happening this next month, no, on December 10. It will focus on trauma as being a big threat to your emotional well-being. So if you are interested as well, no, to become a professional service provider, either as a life coach or a mental health coach like us, connect with Coach Rezzhel to 0917-586-1661 to know more about Coactively Co-Create Life Coach Certification Program by Master Coach A. So we are now accepting application for mental health certification and internship program with limited slots. So make sure that you make that reservation with Coach Rezzhel. So do join us back tomorrow, same time and same digital space for episode 138, Wisdom, Action by Action, Day by Day by Coach Cherry Mina. So Decaf Coffee Republic is located again inside Pioneer Center compound or widely known as PC. And we are just across Bayanihan Center in Pioneer Road, Corner Brixton, and United Streets in Capitolio, Pasig City. So again, we are open from 12 noon to 12 midnight. So I invite you to visit us, especially tonight, no, to have that family time, that quality time that you want, and for you to unwind and distress. Okay. So this is once again Life Coach Candy Teng, mentally fit to serve in behalf of Life Coach Philippines. And this is us in the Philippines. Labang boom, labang boom, labang boom. See you tomorrow. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.